The season comes to a close for the MSU men's basketball team. They fall to Duke 71-61. Seth Curry explodes for 29 points as Michigan State shoots just 30% in the second half. Dillon, what's your biggest takeaway from this game as MSU season comes to a close?
Well, before the game, I anticipated that it would be a very close matchup between Michigan State and Duke. Obviously, two of the college basketball elite powers. They go head-to-head quite often. I thought it might come down to the final possession or two, and unfortunately, Duke played the way that Duke knows how to play, and they strangled Michigan State down the stretch. They made Michigan State earn it at the free throw line, and then Michigan State couldn't make a basket down the stretch. They held it without a basket for 9+ minutes, and that was all it took. That's all she wrote. Michigan State closes their season with a Sweet 16 loss, and now kind of closes the book on the career of Derek Nix here in Indianapolis.
It's sad. It's heartbreaking. Our goal as a team, we want to win a national championship, but unfortunately, we didn't win. So I say, right now it's just sad. The ride back home is definitely going to be sad. So.
I don't get a chance to come back next year, so all I can think of is, graduating. I put graduating first, and then what's next for us basketball. Don't know if I'll get drafted. Who knows what the future holds? So it's kind of scary if you want to be honest. But Coach helped me through this journey. He's always been there for me, and he's gonna continue to be here. We're gonna talk when we get back to the hotel. I look up to him. Ask him for advice. We became closer as the season was on. He's really meant a lot to this team. He's a good leader. We're gonna miss him.
Yeah, it's a tough way to lose. A ton of ticky-tack fouls down the stretch really seemed to frustrate Michigan State. They said as much after the game. None of the keys really go right for Michigan State. They don't defend the three-point line well, especially early, allowing Seth Curry to really get going. And then again, the size advantage inside, non-existent really. Michigan State doesn't take advantage on the boards. Duke does a great job there and just rolls to a victory, never really being threatened. Dillon, now when you look ahead to the upcoming season, certainly Derek Nix is graduating. Questions will be asked about Adrian Payne. He did not want to get into that today, about whether he will go to the pros, potentially Gary Harris as well. As I said, he thinks both will be back, but nothing really more than that. What do you see as the outlook for this team potentially returning 11 to 12 players?
There's definitely some intrigue with this roster. I mean, Adrian Payne, obviously, like you said, is the question mark. And obviously people were talking about Gary Harris and Brandon Dawson was a talk at some time, but I think that those guys are going to come back. Adrian Payne still, I don't know, is kind of up in the air. But if Michigan State returns them, I think they're one of the stronger teams in the Big Ten. Certainly they contend the way they did this year, and I like their odds to make another run next year with that roster, plus any additions that Izzo might bring on. Michigan State's certainly one of the most competitive teams in the Big Ten. Tough loss tonight to Duke, but Tom Izzo's built a strong program, and they'll be back again next year as they always are.
Yeah, you'd have to think that there are a lot of underclassmen from Indiana and Michigan that are certainly threats to leave early. Potentially Deshaun Thomas at Ohio State as well. Michigan State, I guess when you look at the Big Ten race, it's probably going to come down to which school can keep most of their underclassmen. Michigan State might be in the best shape there, and certainly has a bright future ahead if they can. So from Lucas Oil Stadium, this is Josh Mansour and Dillon Davis for the State News, signing off.